name is Zach Winkleman. I am a PhD student at Indiana State University. I'm going to be going over my Blackboard learning management page with you for the class that I am showing my teaching demonstration for. So this is for ATTR 425, Organization Administration of the Healthcare Delivery System. This is a senior level professional course in our athletic training education program. What I'm going to go over specifically is where they are at in the unit, so you have some context of what they're doing. So this class is a problem-based learning class, so a lot of the things are delivered online and everything is a situation-based, so it's basically a simulated learning experience the entire semester. So if we go into the learning modules, each of their tasks takes them through the administration process in terms of getting a job, getting that job itself, so the human resources side, facility design, program management, risk management, financial planning, and then going into patient care and ethics. Right now, we're at the Institute of Medicine core competencies, which are the skills that all healthcare professionals should have. This module actually spans 2 weeks. Inside each of these modules, they have a memo. The class is set up like professional development sessions, so it's meant to mimic what they would do after they finish their time as a student. It also has a resource page and then their weekly assignment. This week, they have to watch a documentary called Code Black, tying in some of the multimedia resources. Under the resource tab for this week, they have the articles and videos. So they were required to read the core competency article as a peer-reviewed source. And then they have some articles here and videos. So these are some TED Talks, some other resources that they can read. And this was all stuff that should be completed prior to class. In addition, on the Blackboard page, we also have the memo. I'm going to actually go to the PDF of this. So each week, each task, they receive a memo and it tells them what they should expect. So this scenario is over the next 2 weeks, they take a step back from facility design and take a bird's eye view of themselves as a healthcare provider. In that, they have their task, which ties into their weekly assignment. And then over on the side, we have what the professional development sessions or what class time will entail. So this kind of breaks down what that would actually be for the students. And at the bottom are the resources that I expect them to review prior to coming to class. For this week, we will be going over interprofessional education, interprofessional practice, and interdisciplinary teams, which is one of the core competencies. And so inside of there is something that we do in class in the video that you'll see is called the Interprofessional Collaboration Conference. And so this is a bingo sheet essentially where the students prior to coming to class were given a profession and then they had to embody that. So they had to understand the educational requirements, professional standards, the scope of practice, and all the things that were required to be that job. And then these are other professions that they could work with as an athletic trainer once they finish the professional program. The purpose of the activity today was to allow them to understand and respect and the other professions by embodying them. Typically, they don't have the access to these professions currently to understand face-to-face real time. And so this was a simulated learning experience in terms of them taking on the role of another profession and then working. So in the video, you'll see the collaboration conference occur. So they perform this, talking to each other in a bingo type format as a mechanism to end the scenario, a debrief experience, and then kind of a role play of how this would actually play out in terms of what this would look like for themselves moving forward. Thank you.
Today we are going to do interdisciplinary teams. So this is part of the core competencies that we've been chatting about this week for kind of the things that all healthcare providers do. So today we're going to do an interprofessional collaborative conference. So I sent you guys out a profession for you to review and kind of know the background of. So now for the next 15-20 minutes of class, we're going to take on that profession. So your job is to be that person and intermingle with each other. The goal when you're actually intermingling with each other is to complete this bingo sheet, and so you have to find people that match up with the things that have these things. So there's different things on here like requiring a doctoral degree, requires must pass the NCLEX exam, different things like that. So things that go back to the actual profession, and then you can only use each profession twice. So if you know one person can fit all these boxes, they can only be used twice on here. Your job is to either write their profession or their name. If you know that this person, that profession would fit in there and you already know it, actually talk to the people. So the job is to actually talk to people and figure out what they are. Once we get done, we'll go back and discuss how this actually goes back to athletic training, so each of these professions, and what that could look like moving forward for your career. Introduce your profession. So,
Physical therapist.
Chandler Bean, he's a physical
Therapist assistant.
PTA. Okay.
Bill Cosby, pharmacist.
Michael Wazowski, a physician assistant.
I'm Addison, and I am a genetic counselor.
I'm Dave, and I'm a registered nurse.
Meredith Gray, and I am a clinical psychologist.
Robert Brown, I am a licensed certified social worker.
Georgina O'Malley, paramedic.
Bob Gump. I'm an EMT.
Okay.
I'm Paula Dean, and I'm a registered dietitian.
Of course you are.
Sam Sung, licensed practical nurse.
Learn about other members' expertise, backgrounds, knowledge, and values. It's kind of hard to not have or have this knowledge without actually talking with each other, right? So unless you worked with a genetic counselor, you probably would not know what genetic counseling is. So actually taking an opportunity like this to actually learn and figure out what they are or look into them. So if you are working with a paramedic on Friday nights and you consider that paramedic an EMT in your mind, or you don't know the difference, taking some time to actually Google or talk to them about their job and figuring out what they do. That's what we like as athletic trainers too. We want people to ask us what we do so we can stop this kind of identity crisis that we have as athletic trainers. And what are your previous experiences in clinical education with interprofessional collaborations? So have you had an experience outside of SPs that are designed to be IPE? So outside of that, what real-time experiences have you had with interprofessional collaboration? Not necessarily these professions, it could be others.
Like team physician.
Has everybody interacted with a team physician at some point? Okay.
At the clinic, we have a lot. So I had a patient actually yesterday that had it's like a soft mass next to his vertebrae, and it was really painful and didn't know what it was. So I just went upstairs and got the physician, and he came down to look at it, and it was just really cool that, I mean, we're all in the same building,
So why now? So the last question is why now? What is the societal factor driving all of this? So why is interprofessional practice so abundant and on everyone's mind and tongue now?
I feel like how
Go ahead.
Health insurance.
Health insurance? Okay, what about it?
I was just gonna throw it out there.
Okay. Shooting it out.
I was gonna say, like,
I think just to achieve the best possible care.
Okay,
So using everyone's knowledge and working together.
so do you think that's something that's not always been a factor though?
No, but I think it's maybe becoming more prevalent or more of a necessity.
Okay, what's the reason for that? Think about the population.
people are getting older.
They're having more issues.
People are getting older, right? People are not dying where they used to be dying. So take-home message is how do you set these up to do organ admin, right? So take your problem-based learning scenario. How could you incorporate these into your only community college? So, policy and procedure, there we go. Making them part of your team, right? So your network that you have right now has your doctor, your athletic trainers, your coaches or AD, right? So that's kind of that network you frame. What if you take a step back and actually looked at this from a different way? What if we said, this is our supervising physician and this is our care team? These